So there's some pretty interesting stuff going on in the UK. I would definitely like to hear the opinions of people who are in the UK, so make sure to leave comments about what's going on. But it appears that the UK is in utter and complete chaos in multiple sectors of their economy, and it appears even daily life. Now, I'm sure you guys have probably, hopefully, heard about the stories about how it's hard for people to get gas for their cars, and it appears to be for a couple of different reasons. A lot of neglect on the part of the government. The Brexit deal that they brokered didn't have an energy plan, and apparently they don't have enough truck drivers to actually transport all of the stuff. Now, obviously, Brexit happened. They decided to leave the European Union. It was a pretty stupid decision, I mean, on all counts. I think the only reason, there are maybe two reasons, is immigration and then maybe cheap labor. But there's a lot of jobs that people in these developed nations don't want to work. I mean, I'm sure you don't want to be in a field picking tomatoes in the hot-ass sun. So with these nations to be able to survive based on their economy, they need cheap labor. That's the way that these economies run, unfortunately. And so, they had lots of cheap labor from the poorer nations of the European Union, and they got mad. They didn't want that, and now it appears that that has really backfired. Also, the free trade abilities that you get from being in the EU really, eases trade restrictions. So you can import a lot of stuff easily and export as well. And it appears that they need to import a lot of stuff. They are not as self-sufficient as they may have thought or hoped. Now, it says nearly one-third of BP stations in UK almost out of fuel. Nearly one-third of British Petroleum stations in the UK are almost out of fuel, as the oil company is seeing an increase in demand. BP told The Hill in a statement that supply chain delays triggered by a shortage of qualified drivers are causing the company to experience supply issues at some of its facilities in the UK. Company said it has seen an intense demand in the past 2 days, leading to a fuel shortage at roughly 30% of its stations in the UK. The majority of the 1,200 sites BP supplies in the UK, however, are still supplied and open, according to the company. With the intense demand seen over the past 2 days, we estimate that around 30% of sites in the network do not currently have either of the main grades of fuel. We are working to resupply as rapidly as possible. Vehicles lined up at the gas stations for a third day on Sunday as people waited, sometimes for hours, to fill up with fuel. Kind of sounds like the 1970s and 1980s oil crises in the United States. It says increased demand for fuel comes as Britain is in the midst of a number of crises. The Newswire noted an international surge in gas prices that is forcing energy companies to shutter operations, a related lack of carbon dioxide that poses a threat to meat production, and a shortage of truck drivers that is causing difficulties for retailers and leaving some shelves empty. So this is a big deal because it's almost like the entire economy is really struggling, because I guess even like grocery stores don't have anywhere near the items that they usually have or the quantity of items that they usually have. So this is leaving their economy completely off, and I guess a lot of it has to do with simply not having enough HGV truck drivers. Now, they're trying to incentivize truck drivers by offering temporary visas, but I have no idea why, and I don't think any economists are projecting this to have any sort of serious impact. But, why anybody would care about a temporary visa into the UK when they just, kicked you out and it's a temporary visa? I don't know why anybody would do that. It doesn't make any sense. But, Boris Johnson does not seem to be handling the nation well, and they seem to really just be in complete chaos. The exit they did from Brexit didn't really have an energy plan, so because they didn't really have an energy plan, that put them into a shitty situation. Military drivers might, military members might be driving trucks just to help meet the supply chain. So there's a lot of stuff going on over in the UK. It does not appear to be going too well, and we may already be seeing the ramifications of leaving the EU. I personally would be extremely shocked if leaving the EU was beneficial for the UK. I seriously have no idea how it could be beneficial for the UK. I really have no clue. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. So, that's what's going on over in the UK.